The illusion of productivity. Why busy does not equal effective? Let me start with something familiar. You wake up, before your feet touch the floor, your phone lights up. Messages, emails, notifications, a calendar reminder for a meeting you half remember scheduling. You have not done anything yet, but somehow you already feel behind. By noon, you have replied to dozens of messages, attended meetings, checked your to do list, added three new items to it. You feel exhausted. And yet, at the end of the day, there is a strange question sitting quietly in the background. What did I actually move forward today? This is the illusion of productivity. We live in the world where being busy feels like progress, where motion feels like meaning, and where exhaustion is often mistaken for impact. But busy does not mean effective, and most of us are trapped in that confusion without realizing it. Here's why. The brain loves activity. Every time you respond to a notification, take something off a list, or switch tasks, your brain gets a small hit of dopamine. Not the deep satisfaction kind, the shallow, I did something kind. It is the same feeling you get when you refresh your feed or check email for the fifth time in 10 minutes. Your brain doesn't ask, was this important? It only asks, was there movement? So we start optimizing for activity instead of outcomes. Let me give you a simple example. Imagine an office professional, let's call him Rahul. Rahul starts his day early, emails, meetings, calls, Slack messages. He's responsive, available, always online. By evening, he's drained. And yet, the one strategic task that actually mattered, the one that could have changed the project's direction, never got touched. Rahul feels productive, but nothing meaningful shifted. Now imagine a content creator. She wakes up determined to work on her next big video, but first she checks analytics, then comments, then replies to DMs, then tweaks a thumbnail, then watches just one video for inspiration. 4 hours later, she's tired, but the actual video still doesn't exist. This is not laziness, this is a neuroscience. Every time you switch tasks, your brain leaves behind a residue, a small fragment of attention stuck on the previous task. It is called attention residue. You may feel like you have moved on, but part of your mind has not. Your focus gets thinner, your thinking gets shallower, and your work turns reactive instead of intentional. You're moving, but you're not going deep. Here's the metaphor most people miss. Please listen carefully. Being busy is like running on a treadmill. You are sweating, your heart rate is up, your legs are moving, but the scenery never changes. Effective work, on the other hand, is walking uphill, slower, heavier, less visible. But every step actually changes your position. Our brain prefers the treadmill because it feels safer, predictable, rewarding in the short term. Uphill work feels uncomfortable. There's resistance, silence, no instant feedback. So we avoid it. And then we tell ourselves story, I didn't get to it because I was busy. But busy is often just a socially acceptable form of avoidance. Another trap is decision fatigue. Every small decision you make during the day drains a little mental energy. What to reply, what to prioritize, or what to check next, what to postpone. By the time you reach the work that actually requires clarity and judgment, your brain is tired. So you default to what is easy, what is familiar, what is already asking for your attention. This is why many people do their most important work last, when they're least capable of doing it well. And then they wonder why progress feels slow. Let me gently ask you something. At the end of most days, are you tired because of you worked on something meaningful or because you were constantly interrupted? There is a difference. Motion creates a feeling of productivity, meaningful work creates change. Motion fills your day, meaningful work moves your life. The problem is modern systems reward motion, fast replies, visible activity. Being on, depth doesn't announce itself. Focus doesn't notify anyone. Impact often looks quiet in the moment. So, how do we shift from busy to effective? Not by doing more, but by seeing differently. The first shift is understanding that not all effort is equal. 1 hour of deep, undistracted work can outweigh 8 hours of fragmented activity. Your brain doesn't scale in early, it works in thresholds. Below a certain level of focus, thinking stays shallow. Above it, insight emerges. The second shift is redefining productivity. Productivity is not how full your calendar is, it's how aligned your actions are with what actually matters. If your efforts doesn't change outcomes, it is motion, not progress. The third shift is learning to protect your attention. Attention is not just a resource. It is a life experience moment by moment. What you repeatedly give attention to becomes what your days are made of, and what your days are made of eventually becomes your life. The fourth shift is embracing discomfort. Meaningful work often feels boring before it feels rewarding, uncertain before it feels clear, slow before it compounds. If something feels slightly uncomfortable and quiet, that is often sign you are doing the right kind of work. And finally, the most important shift. Stop asking, am I busy? Start asking, what did I move forward today? One thing, one direction, one step that actually matters. You don't need to overhaul your life. You don't need extreme discipline. You don't need to hustle harder. You just need to notice the difference between activity that fills time and effort that changes trajectory. So tomorrow, when your day starts the same way it always does, with notifications, messages, and noise, pause for a moment and ask yourself quietly, if I do only one thing today that truly matters, what should it be? Then give that your best attention, not loudly, not urgently, but deliberately. Because a meaningful life is not built by being busy, it is built by being intentional, and that awareness alone changes everything. And hey, if after watching this you close one unnecessary tab, delaying checking one notification, or give 5 honest minutes to something that actually matters, then this video did its job. I'm not here to change your life overnight. I'm not here to sell hustle or miracle productivity. If this helped you even 1% and chooses a little more intentionally today, that is already meaningful for me. Because progress doesn't arrive with fireworks, it arrives quietly, often while no one is watching. So take that one small win today, let it be enough. And if you found value here, your attention was not wasted, it was invested. See you in the next video.